Hello, my name is Sheila and I would like to welcome you to my podcast, All About You. I love to listen to podcasts and especially conversations with famous people. However, I think everyone has a story to tell. Maybe a place you have visited, a hobby you enjoy, or anything that you feel would be of interest. I want to have conversations with lots of different people and hear their stories. So if you have a story to tell, please contact me on my email, allaboutyoupodcast@yahoo.com. Welcome to the All About You podcast, and my guest today is Daniel M. Jackson. So Daniel, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me on, Sheila. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here.
Daniel, I'm looking forward to our conversation because previously we had a conversation for well over an hour because you wear many hats. So to do justice, if you would like to introduce yourself, I think that's going to be the best thing.
All right. My name is Daniel Jackson. I am what I refer to as a spirit medium. I don't call myself psychic, although I do get psychic messages. But when people go around calling themselves psychics, then everyone wants to come up to you and say, hey, what am I thinking? And I'm thinking, I don't want to talk to you. That's what I'm thinking. I see dead people. I see everyone who has passed away, not just people, though. I see dogs, cats, horses, cows, fishes, giraffes, everything. I see other beings from other worlds as well. So I see everything that is in spirit. They communicate with me. I talk back to them. But the place that I get all my information from about spirit is I talk to angels, and I talk to what is referred to as archangels. There is a difference between angels, and the hierarchy of everything is God, archangels, what archangels call lesser angels because they have less responsibility. Then you have spirit guides, regular spirit, us, and then low negative energy spirit.
So today then, Daniel, I wanted to concentrate on talking about angels and in particular guardian angels. So if we can start with, do they exist?
Yes, they do. Most people have what is called a spirit guide. But does the average person have what we would refer to as guardian angel? No, that's not the case there. And the reason being is because your spirit guides can handle your day-to-day things. The reason you would have an archangel with you or any type of angel at all is because you're actually performing a specific task that God wants you to do and you know about it. And that's why you would have an archangel for you, because there's more to do. You're getting more answers. You're getting more messages in many different ways. Now, that doesn't mean also that all mediums or all psychic mediums have angels with them either, because each different person has a different role here to play on Earth. Some people are here to just talk to your mom and dad type of spirits, and those people, they don't have access to angels because they don't need access to them because they do get messages from moms and dads. But the ones who are actually here to help everyone, who are here to help change the world, those are the ones who have archangels with them.
Okay, so spirit guides. What form do spirit guides exist?
Spirit guides, everyone has 2 spirit guides at least, okay? And the spirit guides you have a man who helps you with the more masculine types of decisions, and the woman is more nurturing type decisions. But everything that goes through your mind is a decision. We're making decisions that come through into our minds all the time, but we don't act on all of them. And they are here to help us make the best decisions that we can do in our lives to ease us through our lives the best and possible way. But as we all know, when you get a decision into your mind, sometimes we talk ourselves out of those things, and because the world has taught us to have self-doubt, and so we tend to talk ourselves out of things. And when you do that, you're putting yourself on the alternate path. And why I say that is because you're not doing the things that they absolutely want you to do. You would meet people and go places and have experiences that they want you to do because it's going to make a difference in your life. But people tend to talk themselves out of those things, and then they don't have all the good things that happen in their lives. But a lot of people who do that are just negative people in general anyway. So they need to learn to stop doing that, stop having so much self-doubt, and take control of their lives, and then have faith in themselves to do good things. And when they do that, then they will stay on the correct path. Because if you stay on the alternative path for too long, you will come back.
Okay, so just to make sure I understand this then. So when we are making a decision and we feel a gut reaction, we feel a strong pull to place A or place B, when we get those strong positive feelings, that means we're in line with the spirit guide who is saying you need to go down path A. If we do that, we're feeling comfortable with that decision. If we're feeling a bit uncomfortable or just something just doesn't feel right, we're obviously trying to go away from the path we're supposed to be on. Is that right?
Absolutely correct. Yes. So like if you're driving your car and you see a car in front of you and you say, I think I want to pass that car. But then you get that gut feeling that says, don't pass the car. Well, then don't pass the car. And the way that you can tell that someone is getting a message is when they actually do pass that car, and then they get into a car accident, and then you see them in the hospital, and here's the 3 words they're going to say that you're going to know that they are getting a message. When they say, I saw that car in front of me, here it is, but I just knew. And when they say that, that means they got a message, but what they decided to do was override that message, talk themselves into something else they shouldn't be doing, and then they go around that car and then boom, get into a car accident.
Wow, that is very precise, and I love that I just knew, because it's often these things happen, and thank God they don't happen very often, but it's exactly as you say with the car. I just knew something wasn't right. I just got a feeling, the hairs on the back of my neck, whatever. You just sense that's the wrong path to go down.
And when those people do pick up on those things and they make the correct decision with that, then that just means these are people who are paying attention, who listen, and who are following through. And that's what Spirit wants us to do. Because we have a lot of people in this world who don't. And when that happens, you're going on about your way, but then you have someone else who's coming past you and they just talk themselves out of something, and then catastrophe happens. If we were more in line and more in touch with our souls, with our spirit guides, life on earth would be so much easier.
So my understanding then, so the spirit guide's purpose is to keep us safe and guide us on the correct path.
Yes.
Okay, so that's their purpose. How do we know if we've got one, and can we identify the type of spirit guide, whether it's male, female, or in what context? Can we do that somehow?
Well, I'm here to tell everyone that everyone has spirit guides. When people walk around on this world and they say, I'm always alone, no one is ever alone. Spirit is around us 24/7. We always have our spirit guides here with us. They come to you when you are born, because we are connected to them as well as they are connected to us, because we all come from the same soul family. We all come from there. This isn't our home. That is our home. We are here to learn lessons and fulfill a purpose. So as soon as the soul comes in, they come right with us. They stay there. Sometimes you get other ones that come in who may be a family member, maybe your mom or dad or your aunt or uncle who have passed away. But in order to be a spirit guide, you have to have fulfilled your purpose. You could pass away and go back to heaven, go home, and if you don't fulfill your purpose, you're coming back. But if you do fulfill your purpose, you could pass away now and be a spirit guide for someone tomorrow. All you would have to do is ask. It's that simple. And because everything is that simple, but it is people who make everything complicated.
Now, I understand that people make things complicated, but if we can go back, we need to fulfill our purpose on Earth.
Yes.
Is that the purpose of our career? Maybe we're meant to be a nurse, we're meant to be...
No. That's a choice that you make. Although you may fulfill your purpose during that, but the purpose is the same for every single person. So you don't have to be at your job to fulfill your purpose. You can do your purpose anytime throughout your entire life, during the day, during the night, wherever you are, your purpose can be fulfilled. Because your purpose is very simple in this world. God, or whichever you would like to refer to, the higher power, made it very simple so that everyone can achieve this, can fulfill this. Because you don't have to have a whole lot of education to do this, or skills at sports, or be a doctor or a lawyer to do this. Everyone can do it. It's just if they choose to do it. Not a lot of people do. But we should turn that around as much as we can and do that. Now, we do happen to come back over and over and over again because we're not fulfilling it enough. They want us to do it a lot, which means do it as much as you can. Because what you're doing at that point is you're basically punching your dance card, meaning you have to keep coming back over and over again until you get enough punches on that card. And when they say you don't have to go back again, then you can stay in heaven. Everyone who is here now, everyone that you see out in the world has all been to heaven. They all had to come back because all of them have not fulfilled their purpose yet. So, and fulfilling your purpose is, we are here to help each other, but just for the sake of helping, not because it's going to make you money or because it's going to make you famous. You are going to help them just because you can, just because you should. And it's going to be very simple. Someone's going to come up to you, Sheila, and say, I'm lost. Can you help me find my way? But it's up to you in using your free will to decide if you're going to do that or not. And a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to do that, or they brush them off, or they just hate people. And when they do that, they will remain on their alternate path. But if you continue to come and you help people each and every time, then you're closer and closer to not having to come back. That's the ultimate goal. I just did a reading the other day for someone, and the husband had been here 33 times, the wife had been here 36 times, because they're not fulfilling their purpose. And I'm telling them, you have to do it as much as you can, because you don't want to have to come back. Because when you do come back, each time that you pass away, if you die over the age of 30 years old, the next time that you would come back, say if you died at 80 years old, you would come back 80 years later. Meaning, each one of your lifetimes, when you come back, it's a span of 160 years. If you die at 80 years old, it would be 160 years. Or if you died at 50 plus 80, that would be 130 years. You're coming back in a long span of time because they don't want you to be recognized. But you're coming back. And we've all been here many, many times. We've all had lives that have involved or have not involved computers, cars, gasoline, all this amenities that we have. So, but the next lifetime that's going to be here, at least at this point, 80 years from now, this place is not going to be nice. There isn't going to be any cars, no computers. no gasoline, no running water, none of that. So I'm here to try to tell everyone to fulfill your purpose. Get off your butts and go out and do it just because you can, just because you should.
And I'm still thinking very much about your explanation regarding the dance card. I think that's quite good. You've got to get that dance card done. You've got to do the best you can on your day-to-day life for yourself, your family, and other people. And the more good you do, and it can be something very, very small to something very, very big, it all adds up, it all counts.
Yeah, because each person that you're helping, you may have helped them in a very small way or a very large way, but it's all about the perception of the person that you're helping. I mean, you may have helped them in a really big way and didn't even know it, but figure it out when you get home, because they're going to tell you. They're going to let you know. You're going to get there. Basically, the way that happens is you're going to wake up out of your body. You're going to look down. You're going to say, oh, I guess I don't need that anymore. You're going to take a step to the left. You're going to see a bright white light. Walk in. But there is another choice. You don't have to walk in. You can remain here as an earthbound spirit, but there's nothing to do here. But if you go home, you go back there, they will go over your life with you. It is not judgment. No one gets judged. God doesn't judge us. We judge ourselves 1,000 times a day. Why does he need to do it once more? Because he just doesn't. And they go over your life and say, okay, Sheila, you made this decision, and you made this decision. And you'd think it affected 1 or 2 people, but it actually affected 10 people. And by the time it got to that 10th person, it was not in the best way. And you go, because at that point, you have lost all your pain, anger, sorrow, grief, guilt, anguish, all that stuff. In order to cross over, you have to let all that stuff go. And a lot of the ones who don't cross over don't want to let that go. So that's why they stay here. They walk around miserable, even more miserable, because they can't contact anybody except the people who are around them. So you lose all that, but you gain more love. You gain more respect for everyone. You gain, it's a much more loving, endearing feeling there. It's constant, pure love, and it's like being in a dream. And but you're actually aware of it. It's because sometimes dreams are kind of but you're very aware of being there. You're around everyone. You know everyone. You don't just know the 200 people you met here in your lifetime. You know every single person. Why? Because that's where you came from. They may call you Sheila. They may call you all the other names that you have had lives for, but they will also call you your soul's name. And your soul's name is more of a sound vibrational thing. And when they say it, it may be something like, oh, and then you're just going to go, oh, that's me. Walk over there. It's that simple. But you're going to know that. But yes, they're going to tell you, you made these decisions, and because you kept making decisions like that, using your free will too much about you, and you really didn't help too many people, well, you have to go back. But as souls, we like to do good things, so we're excited about going back because you get to do things down here. But it's not always, rainbows and unicorns. It's always, there's always some type of conflict or some type of issue down here, because that's the type of world we live in, because we have not decided to change that. So I don't want people to have to come back and do that again, but you will have to live through that, because I am also clairvoyant. They show me these things. I understand what is coming. We're actually going to see that partially in our lifetimes right now. So my message is to everybody, go out and fulfill your purpose, because, it just can. And when you help someone, it feels good. So why not do that?
I think that's a very valid point. When we help someone, it might be a very small gesture. It makes us feel good. Yes, we give someone a gift. We feel good because we've taken the time and effort to think about the gift, wrap the gift, and then give it. We feel good about that. We feel good doing things for other people. That's got to count on that dance card.
Yeah, and then someone in turn turns around and does the same thing for us, because we're always all in need of some type of help at some point in our lives. So why not just accept it and do the best we can by doing that for someone else as well? Because just because we can.
If we ask someone to describe us in 3 words, we really hope we're going to hear the words kind, thoughtful, caring. That's what we want to hear, that's the way people will view us, as well as maybe being a good storyteller, a sporty person, loves animals, etc., etc. But it's really those qualities of our personality that really matter to us, that we are seen as being kind, being thoughtful and caring. Daniel, we're talking about spirit guides. So is there any way that we can encourage the spirit guides to show their presence or contact us in some form?
And that is through meditation. Meditation, you're going to get your best messages there because you have to have a clear mind in order to get messages anyway. And you want clear messages so you know exactly the direction they are trying to give you. So having that clear mind is going to help you, because when you're in a quiet room and anyone's talking to you, you hear exactly what they say. And that's what you want from these messages from them as well. If you didn't get it the first time, you can ask them again and they will tell it to you. They will gladly bring it to you as much as you need to hear it so that you can follow through with it. But that's the major part of it. When you ask the question, you need to follow through with it. And they want to be able to trust the fact that you're going to do that. So you're going to have to meditate a few times. They're going to bring you messages, but when they understand that they can trust you with these messages, and you're going to use it for a good reason and not just to tell your friends some stories, then they're going to give you these messages on a regular basis. So yes, but they will also give you messages in other ways. People see them all the time. We see angel numbers when you see things like 222 and 333. What is happening there is they are connecting with your soul, because your soul is what runs your body. It's not your brain. Your brain makes the little parts move. But they connect with your soul to get your soul, to get your body to turn around, to notice these signs. You see the number signs, or when other spirit is around, like say if your mom had passed away and your mom really liked hummingbirds, and all of a sudden you're seeing hummingbirds, or you're seeing a lot of the dragonflies, or all these other signs. That's spirit letting you know, yes, you're on the correct path. You're doing the right things. But if you're just walking around blindly like some of these sheeple in this world, or these what they call the herd mentality, and that's all you're doing, you're not going to get the messages, the signs as much, because your mind, yourself, you are too cluttered with the world. You have to be able to let that go, get yourself into a calm and less stressful state. And when you do that, you will get more messages. They will bring them to you to help you get through your life the best you can. You can even go into meditation if you prefer and get the names of the people who are actually helping you. But the names are really not that important. It's the message that is important. And it's the important part is you listening to it and you following through with that message.
Interesting point you've made there, Daniel, is we have to do the groundwork. We have to take the time and the effort to start a regular meditation practice.
Yes.
And I think that in itself is another podcast. But the idea is to get yourself in a good position. I mean, we know meditation is good for blood pressure. It's good for the heart. It's an all-round good thing to do.
Absolutely. And I think for you, why not do it anyway? Just to clear yourself out, get yourself all that mess that's going around in your head. I know some people who try to do meditation and they say, I just can't, I can't. It's not that they can't. It's just they won't. They won't settle themselves down enough to do that. But when you are able to do that, you'll find out more things about yourself. You will find it'll be easier for you to sleep at night, because people go to bed with their minds just racing and racing and racing, and they find they lose a lot of sleep. If they could clear their minds out, they would sleep so much better. And when they did that on a regular basis, a good practice of that, they will stick with it. It helps.
I think that is so powerful, as in the spirit guides are there to help you, but you have to play your part. You have to be open. If you really want to get in touch with the spirit guides and have that connection and that conversation, you have to put in the effort, whether that is building a regular meditation process, whether it's looking for angel numbers. I mean, there's as you said, various different forms of connecting or being aware of. But I think it's definitely a two-way street. If this is what you want to do and get more into spirit guides, you've got to do your homework, prove your openness, you want to connect, and then if you prove you are in a place to receive, that the spirit guides will come, and their job is to help, protect, and to guide you.
Yes, I mean, we have that saying that says God helps those that help themselves. I mean, he did help us in one big way. He put you here, but he wants us to figure out the rest. But what he will do is bring his other family members here to help us. But we have to listen to them, because as people, we get messages from our regular family members who are here on earth with us. And how many people always listen to that? They don't. They want to go, oh, you know what? I think I can do it better. Or I can. You know what? I don't want to listen to that. I'm going to do it my own way. And that's their ego talking. And that we need to let that go. We need to open ourselves up, open up our minds, our hearts, and be aware of what is actually going on in this world, and stop with all the misdirection, and slow ourselves down, get to a simpler way of life. And when we are able to do that, things would be just so much easier, and we would be able to get messages so much clearer on not just a singular event either. It could be multiple. We could all be sitting in a room and meditating together and get one big message for all of us. But we have to be able to do that. We have to get to that point. And so all this misdirection that's going on in the world keeps us occupied, so we don't go to do meditation. We don't find out that we actually have power and control over ourselves. So we have to get away from the misdirection in this world to clear ourselves up. And it really does need to happen, because when we do that, we will find out that all that stuff that people have been telling us has all been a lie, and realize that we don't need that kind of crap in our lives. We can do things much more ourselves.
Well, I think this is a massive topic, Daniel, and I just know we have only scratched the surface. But I think you've given a great overall explanation of spirit guides, what they can do, how we can connect with them. Can you just give us something to maybe a next action for those people that are interested in getting to know their spirit guide, or delving into finding a bit more information? Can you sort of leave us with one thing we could do if that's the path we choose to go down?
Yes, if you're interested in these types of things, reach out, look around your area. Before the pandemic came, I was doing this festival circuit. So, and these festivals had people there like me, people who were into crystals and oils and all these other things. You can go to these festivals and find they are around. They are starting to come back again. I'm actually doing 3 in the next couple of weeks. But you can find them. Find your people. Go online. Look for them. Look for other groups as well. There are also enlightenment groups on Facebook as well, and other places to look, other social media. Find your people. Get away from all the crap. Get away from all the negative people, and go out and find your people. Reach out, look for them, and when you do that, you're gonna find you're just gonna get much more inspiration from those people as well, and then they're going to give you, because everyone in those types of groups likes to share. So get some information. Get as much as you can, and then you'll find yourself sharing information to someone else as well. I know the world leaders have all said with this pandemic, we're all in this together. We were all in this together way before they said that. We've always all been in this together. We need to figure that out, and we need to say, hey, you know what? How about we just start helping each other just because we can, just because we should, and go out there. Find your people, get together, and then once you get into that crowd, you're going to be able to get so much more information, not just about meditation, but you may get a psychic medium reading, or you may find out more how you can get in touch with yourself. And and then being in control of that and having these lucid dreams, and you can find out how you can work those actually dreams and get messages in dreams. There are so many ways to do that. We have the best source of information right in front of us. It's called a computer, and it has the internet. And if you're having trouble, if you can't find anything, there's something wrong with you, because there are so many avenues out there to go and get information. But again, it's just like we talked about. You can't get these things happening to you unless you put the work in, unless you do the footwork and try to find these things yourself. But then you'll find friends, and then you can work through it together.
I think it's one of those things, isn't it? They say when the student is ready, the teacher will come. I certainly want to say, as part of this podcast, this isn't for everybody.
No.
And I respect the people who have probably turned off after the first 5 minutes. I understand that, and I respect it. However, my podcast is all about you, and that's all about everybody. So for those people that are still with us, thank you very much. And Daniel, where can people get in touch with you if they want more information? Obviously, I'm going to put all your links on the podcast, but just to finish off, where can people get in touch with you to find out more?
They can get in, if they want to get in touch with me for a reading, schedule a reading. They can find me at www.spiritmediumdaniel.com. It's one long word, spiritmediumdaniel.com, no spaces. They can find me on Facebook at Spirit Medium Daniel, YouTube at Spirit Medium Daniel. And if they're just interested in this type of thing, they can also contact me on there as well, and I will help them too. I will gladly give out my phone number and my email address to them if they just want to talk about that. They could message me on Facebook, and I will talk to them about it. I have stayed up many late night talking to people just about these subjects. And I don't mind doing it, because if I'm helping you, and that's helping me, that's helping everyone. I have a podcast called Beyond the Veil with Daniel Jackson, me, and that's at www.beyond-the-veil.com. We talk about everything supernatural, metaphysical, tarot cards, health and healing, spirit, everything, all that stuff. And then I also have a new show that we're doing. It's called Dead End Stories. And you can find that on Facebook as well. That's a live interactive show where people can come on and ask questions about spirit and all of this stuff. And our line is, I answer all the unanswered questions. You can come in and tell me about your ghost story, and I will interpret it for you, or any other experiences you've had. But yeah, they can find me lots of places, but find me at Spirit Medium Daniel anywhere. And if you need some help, I will help you. I will gladly help you, because that's what I want to do. That's what I need to do. That's what we all need to do.
Brilliant. Thank you, Daniel. Well, I would make sure all those links and all that information goes out with the podcast. So, Daniel, can I just say a huge thank you? You're sitting there in America. I mean, what is it here? It's nearly 7 o'clock here. So what time is it for you?
Almost 1 o'clock here in the afternoon.
Okay, so dinner time for me, lunchtime for you. Daniel, thank you so much. It's been a brilliant conversation, and thank you for being a guest on the All About You podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me, Sheila. We've been trying to do this for like a month now, so and I'm glad we finally got to do it. And I was glad, like we said, we had a big long talk before, so we knew this was going to be good. So I'm just happy to be here, honored to be here, and I appreciate you having me on your show. And I hope your listeners will enjoy this.
I'm sure they will. Thanks very much, Daniel. I hope you have enjoyed the conversation. Don't forget, if you have a story you would like to tell, please get in touch. My email address is allaboutyoupodcast@yahoo.com, and thank you for listening.